here with Kelly Foley from AmeriServe Radon Mitigation of Iowa. Kelly, tell me a little bit about AmeriServe.
Sure. And Missy, thank you for having us. One of our jobs is to educate Iowans on the health risk of radon. So really appreciate the opportunity. So AmeriServe, we've been around for about 7 years. We are a family-owned business, which I think always adds to certainly the passion to what we do. We have 6 state-certified radon measurement specialists, the individuals that test for radon. And then we have 3 state-certified mitigation specialists. They're the ones who go and install the mitigation systems. So our mitigators have a combined experience about 75 years, and their background is construction. And I think that really helps. It allows them to design the systems aesthetically pleasing, and as you know, is really important to the clients. And we also have what I believe to be the best guarantee and warranties in the industry. We have a 200% money-back guarantee. So if somebody's not happy with what we do, Misty, we not only refund their money, but we pay to have a mitigation system installed. Now that has never happened, nor do I ever plan for that to happen. The other thing we do is we double the warranty from the manufacturer on the fan. So we have a 10-year warranty on the fan, and we also have something that we refer to as a lifetime warranty on our work.
So what exactly is radon, and what makes it dangerous?
You know, it's a great question. So radon itself is a cancer-causing gas, and it is something that emits from the soil. Okay, so the reason it's dangerous is because it can cause cancer. So it comes from a breakdown of uranium in the soil. And Iowa just so happens to have a lot of uranium deposits in the soil, and so we thus have a lot of radon.
Is there a safe level of radon, and how do I know if I have it in my home?
Well, we don't refer to it as a safe level. It's a bit like cigarette smoking. You'd prefer to have somebody smoke 0 cigarettes a day versus 1 or 2, but the EPA has established an action guideline level of 4.0 picocuries per liter. So when we go and test, typically if the test suggests it's 4.0 or more, then that's when action is taken to reduce that level.
Why is it important to test your home when you're getting ready to buy or sell?
Well, first of all, a lot of times that's the only way to know what the level is. And a lot of buyers coming into a real estate transaction will want to know what the level is in the home that they're buying. And again, the only way to know is by testing.
So if I own a home and my neighbor next door tested their home and it was fine, does that mean my home's probably okay as well?
It really doesn't, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because so many times we'll have clients or customers call us and say, well, my neighbor had theirs tested. And that's a great thing, that if they're educating the neighborhood. But we have seen it. In fact, we did one recently. I'll give you an example. It came in at 89.1. That's quite high, as you know. We went ahead and did the neighbors because they found out how high their neighbors was. And when we tested their neighbors, Misty, it was 1.9. And so it really has everything to do with the amount of uranium in the soil under that particular home. So it varies greatly from home to home.
So what do you do to minimize or reduce the radon levels within the home?
Well, we install a radon mitigation system. And really what we're doing in that process, Misty, is we're cutting a hole in the actual slab of the foundation, okay, in the basement floor, if you will. And we sleeve a PVC pipe into that, and we evacuate it to the exterior of the home. The thing that does is it depressurizes the soil, and it thus vacuums, if you will, that to the exterior. So it takes it from within the home to the exterior atmosphere.
And so that's an effective method of getting it reduced?
It really is, yes. Depressurizing that soil and getting it to the exterior rather than having it held up in your home.
So how much does something like that cost versus the alternative?
Well, it does vary. However, a safe estimate would be between $1,200 and $1,400. There are variables that can make it slightly less and slightly more. The footprint or the size of the home certainly can really impact that. the presence of a crawl space. If we have to encapsulate a crawl space, that can add to the expense. But a really good range is between $1,200 and $1,400, and then like we always say, you certainly get what you pay for. So at times you'll see specials being run for less than that. You just have to ask the right questions.
When someone has a mitigation system installed, is it expensive to run it?
Well, it's really not at all. The fan that we install is a low CFM fan, which means it pulls very little electrical. We have seen statistics that show it to be between $75 and $90 a year to run it.
Sure. Anything else important that we need to know about AmeriServe and the company and what your approach is? Well,
I think because we are family owned, again, it goes back to, we're very passionate about this. I am certified to do continued ed. We try to do things like this a lot, and we work with the Iowa Department of Public Health to educate. The thing about Iowa is it's the #1 state in the country for radon concentration. So our levels are very high. And so the big part of our job, like I said, is to educate the public, to let them know that it's a serious health risk in Iowa.
So there's radon detection kits in a store. Is that something that people can use?
They absolutely can. And they can also get one by contacting the Iowa Department of Public Health.
Okay.
They are fairly accurate. The one thing I will mention, Misty, about those is they are something that will need to, the directions will need to be followed very closely. We had one come in just the other day that was 0 from a lab, and we know better. There is no home that has 0. But what had happened is radon has a half-life, meaning that the longer it's exposed, the shorter it will, be accurate. And so the important thing to do is if you do a home test, get it sealed up, get it sent to the lab in a timely fashion.
This was fantastic information, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.